Hello everyone. So today we are going to talk a little bit about CPNT. If I have not told you guys earlier, actually I passed my CPNT and got two certificates, CPNT and LPT Master. I am the first one in the world to get this combo certification. So I thought I will quickly talk a little bit about CPNT, what this exam is, how do you prepare for this, and how this exam is a little different from all others. So if you don't know about CPENT, this is a course from EC Council. A lot of people compare this with OSCP. I am not going to do that, but I am just going to talk about CPENT. There are two ways you can give this exam. You can either take it with the training course, or you can take the challenge edition where you will just get the exam and you don't have to go through the training. Now there are some 14 modules in this, starting from introduction to penetration testing, then OSINT and the regular stuff. But basically you will see that network testing itself is divided into external and internal, and then you have a module for perimeter devices as well. Now this is very important because CPENT is not like any other certifications where you just get a machine, you can directly access it and you run nmap minus sc minus sv and start from there. Basically you have multiple cyber ranges, and for each of these cyber ranges you have to first find out the machines, and these cyber ranges could be behind a firewall. Although these firewalls are not very complicated and are very straightforward, and you can bypass them, because if you cannot, then it becomes difficult to pass the exam. So definitely you can bypass them, but you have to understand how to bypass them, how to understand which firewall is in place and how to bypass it. So these are very important modules for CPENT. And then you have a web application penetration testing module, wireless penetration testing, IoT, OT and SCADA, cloud, binary, and then finally the report writing and post testing actions. And the good thing is that this is basically you can get two certificates in a single exam. The pass marks for the exam is 70%, and if you get 70% you will get CPENT, but if you get more than 90% you will get CPENT and LPT Master both together. Now along with this, I also would probably like to talk about this, where they are saying that it is not low, unlike no other pen testing course, and I would completely agree with this. So there are hidden networks with pivoting, attacking IoT systems, double pivoting. You have to kind of write your own exploits if required. Privilege escalation is probably something you will anyway see in other exams. Evading defense mechanisms. Then you have to bypass filtered networks, and OT is there, SCADA is there, and IoT is there. So these are very, very, very interesting things that you will not find in other exams. So this is definitely like not other exams where you just go with a CTF preparation and pass the exam and get the certification. This is very different from those exams. So I'll talk about couple of the things that I thought might be useful for all others who are giving CPENT exam. So as I have said earlier, there are multiple cyber ranges, and you have to answer the questions from the different cyber ranges. Now, unlike all other programs where you have to just find the user.txt and root.txt, the exam is not like that. The exam is basically to check that you are able to understand the methodology and you are able to follow the methodology, and you are able to understand what is going on. So because of this, the questions are not straightforward to give you the root you don't have to directly provide the root.txt or user.txt for all the machines. In fact, some of the machines you might not be even able to get user.txt or root.txt, and They are very well hardened, and you might not be able to get anything from there other than the answers for the questions that are asked in the exam. So how it works is basically for every methodology they have different kind of questions. So for example, in binary exploitation you might have questions on how you approach to solve the problem. So when you are going through that methodology, there are at least a few steps that you have to go through, and when you are going through those steps, if you are doing it correctly, then there are few parameters that you have to collect to ensure that you are solving the problem correctly, and those are the parameters that could be in your question. So if you understand that methodology, if you are doing the steps correctly, you will be able to get those points even if you don't get the whole exploitation to work completely, because if you work the exploitation to work completely, probably you will have a SUID binary and you will be able to get to root. But even if you don't get to root, still you will be able to solve few of the questions, because the answers are not always asked on root.txt or user.txt. That being said, let me quickly talk about some of the other things. For example, there is a Active Directory range. Now again, in Active Directory range, when you start, it will be very frustrating for you. You might not be able to find any of the machines, and that was one of the problems when I started my journey with CPE&T. You can probably try to hack a machine or get into it only once you find it. But with the basic firewall in place, that itself might be frustrating for you to understand how to bypass these firewalls. So that is one thing that you will have to practice very very heavily. And then my suggestion for you is to make very good notes of all the things that you are learning. There are a lot of good tips and tricks that are mentioned in the courseware that you would get, or when the instructor is giving you the training, and you should note them down. These are very important for the exam, because if you do not understand how to bypass something, you will never be able to get any good marks in the exam. So notes is very 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 important, and understanding the concepts is second very important thing, because it's not straightforward. You will probably not see direct 1:1 mapping between the practice range and the exam, but if you follow the methodology, you will be able to crack it. You have to understand network, how networks are designed, how subnets work, how networks work, where the firewalls are generally placed in organizations and enterprises, and how the firewalls are generally configured, where you would expect to find host-based intrusion detection, and so on and so forth. So if you understand all those things, then understanding how the network is designed in the cyber range or in the exam would be much easier for you. So these are some of the very useful tips that might be helpful for you if you are going for CPE&T. Thank you all.